So now the resource requirement, chapter number 6. This is a very important chapter because it has a lot of modifications in the terms of the concept itself, but not a lot of new requirements. So we have the annex, which talks about the skills and knowledge needed for the AB personnel and AB assessors, but we have also inside of the standard some new requirements that are focusing mostly about the concept of knowledge and skills. So now we require knowledge and skills for the personnel, something like knowledge of the geographical area requirement, for example, knowledge of the decision makers for the scope of the accreditation they're going to make decision on, and also some of the requirements about the competency management. So when we see the requirements for the competency management, it doesn't only talk about the initial qualification or the initial selection of the assessors and the personnel, it talks also about the ongoing training, ongoing monitoring of these resources. So for example, now there's a new requirement in 1711 about identifying the training needs and also making training plans. This is very important. And also the other requirement about the monitoring. So still we have the requirement that maximum in 3 years we have to monitor on-site our assessors, but also there's the requirement that if we extend more than 3 years, there should be some justification for that. So these are some of the requirements that are there about the resource requirements, and we have an interview with Mr. Anil Johari, you know him very well, about this chapter 6, and you are going to see more insight about how the working group worked about this and the discussion in there. The other point in the chapter 6 would be about the outsourcing. So I know that most of our accreditation bodies do not outsource their activities. There's very few cases where we make the outsourcing of our activities, but in case we make any outsourcing of our activities, first, decision is not outsourced. So this is something very basic for us, we know all. But if there's some outsourcing, there should be some process for the approval and monitoring of the outsourced services. This have to be very clear. Also, for the part about the decision, if the people that we are delegating to make the decision are not personnel, are employed by the accreditation body, they should have an enforceable agreement. So this enforceable agreement must be between the AB and the decision makers so that this makes sure that decision is made under the authority of accreditation body. This is in summary what's in chapter 6, and let's go now to see the interview with Mr. Anil, and then we will see the video about the chapter 7.